Matt Walters, John Kirby. Last night on Thursday Night Football, well, that was it was a football game. The Broncos beat the Raiders 10-7. Look,
Awful. It was an awful display of football.
I get it. The Broncos have won 7 in a row. It's very impressive.
First 8-win team in the NFL.
Doesn't matter who you're playing. Doesn't matter what the score is. If you can win 7 games in a row, that's a big deal. But they are not, I don't know what I want to say here. They sure don't look like an 8-2 football team. And I've never been more confident in the Chiefs going to Denver and beating the Broncos a week from Sunday. If the Chiefs can't go to Denver and beat that team, then the problems are even deeper than we think they are. That just did not. Did that look like 2 good football teams playing last night? No, it didn't.
Looked like one really good defense.
I mean, which one?
I mean, the Broncos have a good defense, but
right.
Their offense. I mean, their offense is terrible. I mean, that's a bad offense. I mean, Chiefs go in there and put up 14 points. They should be okay.
I mean, those teams that didn't look like there was much separation between those teams last night. They both had 10 first downs. The Broncos gained 220 and the Raiders gained 188. The Broncos ran 57 plays, the Raiders ran 58. 136 yards through the air for the Broncos, 114 for the Raiders. 84 on the ground for the Broncos, 74 for the Raiders. Both teams were penalized 11 times. Time of possession was 30.5 to 29.5, basically. Everything was pretty much split right down the middle. What a terrible display of football, first of all. And look, what else could you take away from that? The Chiefs are better than the Broncos. I know you are what your record says you are. And we didn't much appreciate it when other fan bases and people around the NFL kept saying about the Chiefs last year, they can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep winning these close games. Well, they did all the way to the Super Bowl. The Broncos aren't doing this all the way to the Super Bowl. They're just not. And this might come back to bite me, but man, Bo Nix is, I don't think he's that good.
Nah, he's getting booed by his own fans last night.
I mean, he's a young quarterback. He has lots of room for growth.
He was better last year. He looked better last year. He's definitely.
He's just.
There's been a digression there.
When they try to put him up, and like you see it like Drake May.
Yep.
The
guy's playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. Drake May is.
And look, Bo Nix doesn't have to be a top 5 quarterback for that team to be successful.
No.
But 16 to 28 for $150, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit. I want to. I'm not going to sit here and pick the Broncos apart. But that was a bad football game last night. I wish the Raiders could have won, but they're such a stupid football team, such a dumb football team. If you root for the Raiders, man, that sucks. That's just go ahead and stop. Just stop. No one's going to ridicule you. No one's going to chastise you if you say, look, I get it, you guys know me, I've been a Raiders fan, I got all those Raiders gear, I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore. Then people say, okay, good, pick a new team. I don't blame you. That team's horrible, that organization is horrible, and they're going nowhere. And can you imagine rooting for that team? What was that? The Broncos kept giving them chances over and over and over again. And the Raiders were like, no, we don't want to win this game. We really don't want to win this game. And so, I mean, look, and this could come back and bite me in the ass, I guess. I don't know. And maybe you don't feel the same way, Jake. I don't know. But I cannot wait for the Chiefs to play these frauds a week from Sunday. I can't wait for that game in Denver.
What a great opportunity to make a giant statement. No, I mean, the Broncos have participated in some of the worst football games I've watched all season long. That game last night.
The Jets game.
The Jets game. Those are two of the worst. And they were both standalone games. So it's like, here you go. I mean, so it's like, I watched almost all of both of those games, and it's like,
nobody could make a field goal last night. I mean,
yeah, it's bad on both sides.
Well, I feel a hell of a lot better about trading Brock Bowers today. So you could bring him up all you want now.
I won't.
You can bring him up all you want.
I guess Geno Smith's still the one throwing the ball. So.
I feel pretty good about it.
Give the guy 3 targets. What are you doing?
Even like the broadcast crew last night.
Oh yeah, Herb Street's
they were pleading.
It'd be a good time to get Brock Bowers the ball.
Maybe they have Bowers in their fantasy football leagues because they were both pleading with Geno Smith to throw the ball to Brock Bowers.
Or maybe they just wanted to see some good football, and that guy is about the only thing that the Raiders have going good for them. Because even their first-round draft pick running back had a ball bounce off his face and turn it into a pick right after that missed field goal.
And look, I'm quite sure that the Broncos are going to play better, have a better effort a week from Sunday.
Yeah, their D-line is scary. Their D-line is really good. So that'll be Chiefs need a full-strength offensive line. So whatever that takes to get to there.
Well, I think they'll have it.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're going to go in there and I got too much time between now and that game, I'm acting like that game is this Sunday.
I wish it was this Sunday.
And look, if you can't beat that team, then you don't deserve to win the division title. Then give it to them. Man. That's like the 4th Broncos game that I've watched, and I've thought, oh, there's no way they're going to win this game.
Right.
They're terrible.
Right.
This quarterback's terrible. This offense is terrible. They're just not good. And then they win the game. So,
I mean, they also have played some horrific teams.
Yeah. That's frustrating. You were right, though. The Raiders gave a good. I don't even know if the Raiders gave a good effort.
Yeah.
Or do the Broncos just play down in their competition?
A little both. I mean, the Raiders were trying on defense. I mean,
but the Broncos' offense isn't good.
No, there's some baffling play calls they had. I mean, 3rd and short, and you're throwing a double pass to Cortland Sutton. I mean, it's just like. I mean, I respect Sean Payton. Just won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees, but
And Drew Brees ain't walking through that door, buddy.
no, it's like that's just some horrible. How many 3-and-outs they had in a row? It's like,
Look, it's
I thought
right.
You're supposed to be an offensive genius.
It's right there for the Chiefs. The
It
Chiefs have, and I get it. The Broncos get some extra time to prepare as well, but the Chiefs have a full bye week to get ready for this football team.
Golden opportunity to make a giant statement.
And oh yeah, they just showed that interception on Janty's hands. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway, and look, now the Broncos are supposed to win. The Broncos are in the driver's seat. They're 8-2. They've won 7 in a row. See how they deal with the pressure. They're supposed to win. Chiefs are 5-4. Everyone's trying to shovel dirt in the Chiefs. See ya in a week and a half in Denver. Can't wait. I'm so stupid, I almost want to go to that game. But I'll never go to another game in Denver again.
No way. No way.
I've gone to 2 games in Denver, and that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Nope.
I'm 1-1 in Denver. After they got the win, I said I'm never going back.
The only time I've seen football in Denver is when I was getting paid for CBS. That's the only time I'll ever go watch football in Denver. You gotta pay me to go watch.
I went once, and the Chiefs got blown out, and it was terrible.
No.
And then the other time I went is
Zero desire to be in an environment like that with those fans. Nope.
Anyway, Broncos win in a terrible football game, 10-7 over the Raiders. And now the Broncos, as you said, have moved to 8-2 on the season. Chiefs are 5-4, a game behind the Chargers, a couple of games behind the Broncos. Hopefully taking this opportunity to lick their wounds, get their offensive line healthy, and get ready to go to Denver a week from Sunday, make a statement, and beat this mid-football team. And remind the NFL who the boss is, especially in the AFC West. College football. As I mentioned, Mizzou's got a big game. Super excited about that. Are they going to win? Hell, I don't know. A&M's really, really good. A&M's a complete football team. A&M is number 3 in the nation, 8-0 for a reason. And Mizzou has a true freshman quarterback, and Matt Zoller's making his first start. But the kid showed a lot when he came in to the Vanderbilt game. He showed a terrific arm. He showed a pocket presence. Played with a little bit of a swag. And so, what an opportunity, though, for Mizzou if they could win that game. If they could win that game and get the marquee win that they've been searching for this year to legitimize what they've done earlier in the season, that would be a huge step. And then you could dream about where they could go. If they could win that game, then they host Mississippi State. They'd have a super difficult game at Oklahoma, but anything can happen there. And then they play at Arkansas. And so, first things first, go out there, and I expect it to be a close game. Find a way to get it done, man. That would be huge. Especially with everything going on around Eli Drinkwitz and other programs interested in him to fill their vacancy at head coach. Be a nice boost for Mizzou if they can get a win over Texas A&M tomorrow, 2:30 a.m. on ABC for those that can watch it. If not, you better figure it out. And for Kansas, they got to find a way to win one of these games to go back to a bowl game. They got 3 left. Need 1 win. At Arizona, at Iowa State, home against Utah. Jake says this is the one. This is the one that's most likely to win, right? You still sticking with that?
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
More likely to win this one than at Iowa State or home against Utah?
I think so. For sure. I mean, the other one would. The problem is, they're easier of the 3 games are both on the road. Or, I think Utah's their toughest game. I think
Right.
that's the best team.
That's a top 15 team.
And it'll be interesting to see. A lot will depend on this weekend, but right now I think the line is 4.5. It's probably going to be close to that when they play at Iowa State. So, yeah, I think this one is their best opportunity. One, they got momentum coming off that Oklahoma State win in Lawrence last weekend, and it's a team they're not as familiar with each other as the Iowa State and Kansas are. I feel like the rivalry's not as deep.
Yeah, it's the first crack you've had at Arizona since they joined the Big 12.
Right. So, and I think Iowa State has a better program and a better head coach. So that's why I believe those things. It's the prove it game.
And you can listen to that game tomorrow right here at 2:30 on Sports Radio 810 WHB. All right, then. Are you in on college basketball right now or what?
No, not really, unfortunately.
You're not excited?
I mean, it's here.
Well, yeah, it's here.
I mean, I'm excited, I guess. I mean, it's overwhelming how I mean, it's like a lot. It's like I don't have the bandwidth right now for it.
Sure you do.
I mean,
Of course you do. It's Kansas and North Carolina tonight.
I know.
Are you excited for that?
I feel like I should be way more excited for it. I mean, yeah, it's nice.
Dude, you should be over the moon to watch a guy like Darren Peterson. Come on.
I do love watching. I mean, it was amazing watching him play against Green Bay. He's a stud. But it's like it's I don't know.
What? Say it.
It's just not like this is exciting. It's great to see these matchups early in the season, but it's like how much they don't have a ton of meaning behind them. It's fun. It's great. Great matchups, great programs, history, blue bloods. Yeah.
There he is. There you go.
But it's also it's enjoyable that we have some really good basketball, but it's like there's not a whole lot of meaning behind it. It's just not. They played Duke here next week, and
You're trying to figure out what you got.
yeah, absolutely,
And there's only a handful of times you're going to see this kid play for Kansas.
it's true.
You know? I mean, he's been described as the best NBA prospect over the last decade, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should be more excited, but I'm just like I can't.
Yeah, I think you should be.
I can't manufacture it. Like, it's great. Number 19, Kansas, and playing in North Carolina. Yeah, all right. But like, if I'm being honest, like, there's bigger games I'm looking forward to this weekend in the NFL.
Different sport. You're in football mode.
Right.
You don't have to apologize for that. All right?
Just it's cool. It's really neat. Kansas going to North Carolina to play. That's cool. But it's like there's big games in the NFL this weekend. There's big games in college football this weekend.
You know, I like that.
Just,
They ought to use that in the promo for the game tonight. Kansas and North Carolina. It's really neat.
it's really neat. It's a lot of fun. Two historic programs.
Why didn't Chad use that?
Yeah, well, we can cut that up. Maybe get it in.
Can
there.
we? Well,
There's some promos running.
okay. Tonight, Kansas pregame at 4:30.
There you go.
And then Kansas versus North Carolina at 6. It's really neat.
Tune in to Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's really neat.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Tip off at 6.
There you go. Lock it in, baby.
I'll be watching.
I know you will.
I'll be listening.
Will you please take the replay of the Broncos-Raiders game off one of these television screens?
It's like
Now the Raiders just got their punt blocked again. This is one of the more disgusting displays of football I can remember
yeah.
forcing myself to watch last
The
night.
guy didn't even know he blocked it. Went off his face.
Yeah. Great. Awesome football.
So there was a mark on his visor. That's how I knew.
I'd rather watch college basketball than that,
Okay.
whatever that was.
Fair enough.
Back into this on WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Stephen St. John here for my friends at Window Nation. And Window Nation right now, since it is the month of November, it's their end-of-year sale, so you need to take advantage of that. You want your home to be comfortable year-round and your family protected, and an investment you could feel great about for years, and that's what Window Nation is. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows to do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% financing for 5 years, and your total price even includes Window Nation's professional one-day installation. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every month, and the windows are backed with a lifetime warranty. How could you beat that? That's real peace of mind when choosing the right company to upgrade your home. Prefer to hear what other customers have to say about Window Nation? Check out over 45,000 five-star customer reviews. Put an end to your window problems. Don't wait. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles plus 0% financing for 5 years. Sale ends soon. So visit windownation.com today to get started. That's windownation.com and tell them SSJ sent you. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We welcome Stan Weber into the studio. Stan, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
How about that game last night?
Last night, the Raiders went to Denver and loved the uniforms. You wouldn't want to be a broadcaster having to broadcast the game with the Raiders uniforms with the silver numbers, but it brought back great memories of when the Raiders used to have Daryl LaMonica throwing the ball and George Blanda kicking it and throwing it, and the Raiders were a dominant team. And Denver's uniforms, I thought they looked great. Loved the traditional John Elway look. So uniforms look great, which is better than a color rush. Remember we had a color rush, was just like crazy, awful uniforms and awful play. So for 5+ years, I don't know, Jake, how long it's been. It may be up to 10 years. I've been saying how Thursday night football is Dudville. Like the teams act like they're asleep. Their energy level's not high. Their coordination is not high. Penalty flags and everything else. But guess what? During this last season, last year and this year, I've been very impressed with the Thursday night football. They've been getting after it. But this game reverted back to what I had been saying for more than 5 years. It looked like they were shells of themselves out there just fumbling and bumbling around. So you got to be a little careful if you're going to project the Denver Broncos play there and say, oh, that's what they're going to look like when they play Kansas City on a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
That's what they look like every time I watch them, though.
Well, when do you watch them? That's true. In England or overseas, they looked awful against the Jets.
They look like against
Houston,
the Texans. Yeah.
Looked bad. Yeah, so Denver's not very good, but that's the theme of this season. There aren't any good teams in the NFL. This is a great opportunity for the Chiefs. They've got off to a slow start. Excuse me. They got off to a slow start and haven't finished things off well, losing to Jacksonville. Now they lose to Buffalo. Chiefs' record's not great. But you look at the play on the field, who's a Super Bowl level team? There are no Super Bowl level teams in the NFL this year. So it is wide open. It's never been this wide open for anybody who could win the Super Bowl. I could argue for 10 teams pretty easily if you just pulled a name out of the hat and said, okay, we each got to debate why we think that team's going to do good work, maybe make it to the Super Bowl and even win it.
I will say that I feel like the strength is in the NFC, though. I mean, I think Seattle is a tough team. I think Philadelphia is a tough team. I think Tampa Bay is a tough team. I mean, Detroit, those might be four of the best teams in the NFL right now, and they're all in the NFC.
Well, that's what's great. You can debate either end if you want to talk about, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. What's your recency bias on them?
I mean,
didn't they lose at home to McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings?
They did. That's why they were the fourth team I named. I'm just saying that's a really good offense.
A talented team. Don't know how to win the big games. Seattle has no idea what it's like to play in playoff pressure. No idea.
But they know how to play on the road.
Well, I like Darnold, but what did he do when he got to the playoffs last year?
Well, now he has
Dudville.
a year of experience, and
I like him, but
it wasn't just
he
him.
just failed.
It wasn't just him, though.
No, I agree. The Minnesota should have kept him. They should have kept him. And Seattle looked great the other night, and they're coming on. I mean, I could jump on the Seattle bandwagon because they're the kind of team that really does make moves in the NFL, right? They may not win the Super Bowl this year, but they have a talented group, a coach really having them focused. They're excited. They're young. The things that they do are excellent, understated. People don't realize, and all of a sudden they're on top of you and they move their way up. That was Detroit 3 years ago. Really dangerous, really good, really excited. Seattle is that way. But I'm just saying, I have a thought in my mind. It may not track with what everyone's listening right now, but I have a thought in my mind of what a Super Bowl team or a Super Bowl champion team looks like. And the parity in the National Football League has created an opening that you can take a step back from there and still be a Super Bowl champion. I'll give you that. Chiefs were not that great last year. Chiefs won all those close games, but they were not a great football team last year. Their offense really struggled. Didn't scare anybody in the passing game or the running game. But they were the Chiefs. They know how to win. But then finally they ran into the Eagles and said, oh, this is over. But the Chiefs were not a great team last year and had a great chance to win the Super Bowl. But this year's even less of a hurdle to get over. You do not have to be very good to go just win this Super Bowl. And that's why the Chiefs can continue to be considered a favorite. I have no problem saying the Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Vegas agrees with you.
And I watched the Buffalo game, and Buffalo was better than the Chiefs basically all day. Every down in my mind. I mean, Buffalo played great. They actually played great.
And the Chiefs were only down 7 with the ball in their hands at the end, too.
Exactly. That's why I don't believe in Buffalo either. Buffalo had a great plan. They know how to play the Chiefs. They fire up for the Chiefs. Josh Allen's unbelievable. Cook and the offensive line came off the ball. Buffalo feels very comfortable playing the Chiefs in big games. That's when they show out and play their best football. Go watch them another day when they're playing someone else like the New Orleans Saints, and you're like, what's going on? I mean, they're not that good on defense. Josh is unbelievable. Cook can run, but that's it. Even the receiving core doesn't scare you, right? They use their tight ends. Josh does a great job. Credit Buffalo. Knowing how to win is going to be very helpful. The Chiefs know how to win better than anybody else. But you look around the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles, and then who? Probably Buffalo is the most consistent, mentally ready football team to do some work in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would lean on teams that have had success in the playoffs and quarterbacks that have had success in the playoffs.
So that gives them advantages over teams like Seattle.
Sure. Or Denver.
Or Denver.
Or Indianapolis.
Or Indianapolis. I mean, these teams are not very good. Okay? They're not very good. Great news for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have cycled this thing perfectly. They hit their stride, took it to the top. What happens when you pay your quarterback full-level money? What happens? What's the general statement? Oh, we're not on a rookie contract anymore. The salary cap's getting stretched. The team around the quarterback can't be quite as good. You've got to make choices, and you're probably going to dip a little bit. And the Chiefs did. The Chiefs have dipped, but they still know how to win, and the rest of the whole league has dipped with them. They are cycling this perfectly. They could go win the Super Bowl this year.
Were you surprised they didn't add anything at the trade deadline?
Not that much. I mean, I do not think that's a criteria at all. Maybe it is in baseball, but in football, adding to your team at this time is not something, a check mark that makes a difference of winning a Super Bowl or not in my mind at all. Like I told you last week, I want to be on the receiving end. I want to get players and give up draft picks the way the trading is now. Now, there were a couple of exceptions to that, but that's, Dallas Cowboys stupidity fitting in there. For instance, the Cowboys got the linebacker Wilson from Cincinnati for a 6th-round pick. That's exactly what you want to do. If the Chiefs could have got Breece Hall for a 4th-round pick.
They supposedly offered a 4, but the Jets wanted a 3.
Right. But if they could have got him for a 4th-round pick, that's awesome. Your 4th-round pick next year is not going to be as good as Breece Hall is.
I think they needed some help on the defensive line, but they couldn't get it done.
But I don't think one player is going to make that much difference to the Chiefs. This is not a one-player game. Football's so much more than that, and it's really head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and quarterback that lead the way. And then if you have a pass rush, that creates a catch-up factor, and that's all Denver has. Denver's sack rate right now is on pace to be one of the best in the NFL in history. And this is an era of not sacking the quarterback. Quarterbacks don't get touched that much. They get rid of the ball too fast. And Denver's defying those odds with the sacks they already have. They had 6 more last night. So that is a good way to play football. That's worth a lot. It makes up somewhat, like having a great pass rush is in the category of having a good quarterback. Not nearly as important, but can be a substitute. And that's what Denver's doing well.
The Chiefs have to win in Denver to give themselves a chance to win the division.
Yes, I agree.
But I think they will.
They very well should. Andy Reid off a bye week. Patrick Mahomes after his most disappointing percentage completion level. And a week off and a loss to Buffalo. A little fire in Patrick Mahomes' belly. What does that usually lead to?
Besides Buffalo playing well, what do you think went wrong for the Chiefs that you saw in that game against the Bills?
Some holes in the defense. But I don't really think that's projectable. I went into the game saying Buffalo will play out of their mind great. I don't know why I trust Josh Allen. When's he going to have an off game playing the Chiefs? He plays great every time. That's unfair for us to say that, but I counted on him. I thought Buffalo would play awesome football against the Chiefs. And I also said, I don't think Steve Spagnuolo has the number to shut down Josh Allen in Buffalo. That's the only team where his defense does not dictate. And so I am not projecting problems with the Chiefs' defense. But if you say, what did I see on the field? Buffalo is one step ahead of them. Some open receivers, tight ends working. The Chiefs never put blitzes in place that put Buffalo on their heels. Every snap of the game, I thought Buffalo offensively felt comfortable. Now, some of the things are hard to execute. When Josh takes a shotgun snap, Stephen, and fires a bullet 10 yards down the line, down is behind the line of scrimmage, but he fires that without grabbing the laces, and the guy has to catch it, and they get a little screen for a 3rd and 4 play, ends up with 7 yards. That has to be perfectly executed against the Chiefs, or you get stuffed, because they'll go tackle that guy. But Josh is up to it. The receiver's up to it, and they just did enough. So I thought the Chiefs' defense looked like a good defense, not a Steve Spagnuolo defense. But I thought that's what would happen against Buffalo, so I do not project that as a problem. But there's not a lot of dominant defenders on the Chiefs' side. Chris Jones isn't playing to the Chris Jones Hall of Fame level, in my opinion.
Right.
Nick Bolton, it has to be the smart guy, but if he gets a guy on him, if you get Bolton blocked, you're going to gain yardage running the football against the Chiefs. I mean, I usually watch these plays immediately for a second time, and if there's a 7-yard run against the Chiefs by anybody, I immediately watch the replay to say, did Bolton get blocked? And every time he gets logged off, and that's why they gain the yardage. Usually he's there to shut down the running game, but you go around the 11 players that the Chiefs are putting out there, and they could be interchanged with half the teams in the NFL, snap of the fingers, and Spagnuolo would make him look just as good, in my opinion. Who scares you on the Chiefs' defense?
I mean, scares you. I mean, Chris Jones.
Yep.
But he's not playing like he's the level that he normally does.
There's a lot of solid players for the Chiefs, and they play out of their mind. Give them credit for that. Trent McDuffie's a star.
Right.
So he's my star.
He's an all-pro. Should be.
But other than that, I just what I said. The Chiefs could just blindly trade with half the teams in the NFL, said bring those defenders over, and Steve Spagnuolo, given a little bit of time, could teach them. If they'll buy in, now this is where the players deserve credit, because I just act like I cut them down. The credit I give them is they believe in the system, and they execute it to the finest level that they can. Chanel, those guys, I mean, they make it hard on everybody because they trust Spagnuolo's strategies, and they carry them out with passion. And they run, and they hit, and they try. And that's worth its weight in gold. So I am not cutting these guys down. For them to have a buy-in as a National Football League player and play out of their minds and hard as they do, and listen to Nick Bolton when he makes an adjustment at the last second. You know how hard that is, Steve, when it's loud out there on the field, and he checks a defense, and 2 seconds before the ball snapped, for everyone to go, I trust him. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to go with the play call. I'm going to trust what he just said and adjust and move. That's brilliance. So the coaching through the knowledge base that Bolton has, the play that the guys execute upon is all great. So what do the Chiefs need to do to take it to the next level? Just Chris Jones come back. What happens if he blew up a few plays a game? What a difference that would make.
Yeah, he could play the way he has, but
why isn't he doing it? Is there any reason in your mind? He's not. You think he's old?
Well, I mean, at some point he'll start to decline, and so you never know when it happens.
So are you worried about him declining right now?
I mean, the possibility's there.
Okay.
That he's just, at some point, he's not going to stay at that level, and that's the risk when you sign him to a long-term deal. You know what he's going to be the first year or two, but then what is he going to be on the back end of the deal? And so every player is different, and so the longer he goes without playing at an elite level, the greater chance is this is maybe who he is now.
Physically.
Right.
Yeah. I would say I'm not worried about him physically. I think this is like a Jakeism. Remember when they used to talk about biorhythms? Remember that, Jake? Probably before you were born, there was a big deal about what is your biorhythms. I don't understand all that, but it's almost it's something to do with it's just not your day. Is that a simple way of saying it? It's just in rhythm. You're not hitting on your best stride. That
you're off.
And the other thing is, you know how hard it is to repeat for teams because they don't have a sense of urgency the next year. There's a little complacency. I think he's got that right now. I think it's mostly mental. He's trying, but he doesn't even realize he doesn't have true energy, true adrenaline, true purpose. Guess what will happen the last third of the year when he starts in the playoffs? He's going to watch out. Chris Jones is back. And all he's got to do is just hit that accelerator. I think he's physically able to just blow up 4 or 5 plays in a game, and that's what his worth is. And he hasn't been doing that yet. So I think he'll be back. It's just hard to be motivated again. I mean, Steven, they're on their way to their, 4th straight Super Bowl?
Well, hopefully.
I mean, that's what they think.
Right.
Doesn't it get a little boring for them? Yeah, another Super Bowl. Can we get to the playoffs? Can we please get to the playoffs?
I wonder if there's any doubt right now within the team.
Yeah, it's a great question. Because football, the greatest game ever, you create doubt by physically being on the field, not talking. We probably have to take a break. We could probably talk about this. This is a great question. I'll ask the question to the fans as they're listening through the break. Do you think they have doubt? Just go down your mind from Andy to Steve to Spagnola to Patrick to Travis, Chris Jones, and the rest of the way down. Is there doubt with this football team? That is a great question.
We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Stephen St. John here for my friends at WeatherTech Renovations. And if you need help with your roof, if you think you might have any damage on your roof, then you need to contact my friends with WeatherTech Renovations. You know, the bad weather could be right around the corner, and I'm talking about rain, heavy winds, maybe even hail. At some point, we'll get to ice. Oh, boy. And look, WeatherTech Renovations, they are ready to help you when you need it. Brian Donegan and his trusted team will help you when it comes to storm repair, roof replacement, and inspections. Their rapid response team will stop the leaks before they become major problems, so there's no need to wait. WeatherTech Renovations, all right? They will help you when you need it, and they can advocate for you if you need to make an insurance claim. WeatherTech Renovations. You can give them a call today and find out what they can do for you. They're very, very helpful. They're easy to work with. And most importantly, it's good people at WeatherTech Renovations. 816-988-8957. 816-988-8957. Or online at WTRenovations.com.
Speaking of that, I'm supposed to talk to you about it.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. So we were discussing,
we had a question, didn't we?
If there's any doubt,
I hate when announcers do their shows and ask a real good question, and then they get caught up in all the ads. And we keep talking during the break, so the sports
Jake
keep
always
rolling.
does that. He asks a question,
And all of a sudden,
then
you're like, "Oh, wait, we didn't."
I never fulfill the tease.
right.
We need to remember you asked a great question, so re-ask it for the new listeners.
Is there any doubt in that locker room about whether or not this team's going back to the Super Bowl? Because they're 5-4 and they've lost games. They're 0-4 in one-score games they won last year. They're losing this year, and I would think, like, for the guys that have been there for the majority of this run or all this run, like Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, I would not say there's doubt. I would even say there might be arrogance, But I wonder about some of the young players or some of the guys that haven't won a championship.
Well, let's think about this. I will say that the McDuffies of the world and that group that's only been to Super Bowls their whole career,
Right, they're good.
I think that they'll be fine. It might be naive. I don't think it's arrogance. I just think they don't know any better, and they trust, like, I'm a good player, but I don't have the pressure that Patrick Mahomes does. On Saturday night before a game, when you go to sleep, I remember when I played, you knew, like, when I was a free safety, I was fired up and ready, but it's nothing like the concentration level that I knew I had to have as a quarterback, with the ball in my hands on every play, chances to audibilize, all those things, the communication with the coach. There's so much on the plate. So I think that they got, Andy and Patrick got this. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So I think that those guys would be fine. I think if it's arrogance or whatever, I think, like I spoke about Chris Jones, I think he thinks there's another gear that they'll turn it on. And I think they believe, like, Andy's different in December. Now, a lot of times it's been the schedule's flowed really well for the Chiefs. Like, they had Murderer's Row to start the year. How many years in a row?
Right.
It's been hard. Well, the offset to that is December, you get some good home games, you're the favorite, and you get on a little roll. So I think they think it's, we are in a race, and we'll pass the cars that are in front of us here in a second, but we'll just stay in the draft. We're going to be fine. So I don't think that those guys are worried. The ones that I would question are like Xavier Worthy. Things didn't go perfect last year. He saw Rasheed Rice get injured, and he saw the team play a different style. And they really, like I said, they didn't scare anybody. He did fine, but he didn't dominate. It wasn't easy. They went on the road in the playoffs, and they got whipped by Philadelphia. Okay, so if things don't go smoothly for him, I could see, I'm not trying to blast him, but I would think a guy like him, there may be others that you can think of right now, the Sua Matatia think, I'm fine, this is all going to be great? Or is he a little like, wait a second, I might give up a sack that'll just blow a game? Is that doubt in there? What does a Josh Simmons think if he comes back to left tackle? So, yeah, I think maybe a few players, but generally, when you ask your question, it's worth asking because last year's team isn't here. 3 years ago, a team isn't here. It's this year, and it's on the field. You got to prove it. Yet I would say I don't think they have doubt.
I think the difference, too, this year is there's actually, even though they looked like garbage last night, there's a worthy contender within the division. Two of them. I mean, you're in third place right now. Yeah. And so you could, when there were any dips or struggles over the past, in the Mahomes era, there was never a question over who was going to win the division, ever, right?
Nope.
We
Nine
never
straight,
had a question over who was going to win the division. Now, here we are, going into the bye week, and it's simple math. If they don't win in Denver on Sunday, they can't win the division. It just there's too much of a gap, and the Broncos' schedule is too easy, and just it doesn't work out. Now, if they do win in Denver, then I think they'll sweep the Broncos. And the other games on the schedule, like the Colts come to Arrowhead, bring it. I think the Chiefs beat the Colts. Some people are worried. Oh, I can't wait to see your face. Some people are nervous about going to Dallas on Thanksgiving. Stan, should we be?
You read too much on Twitter.
I'm asking you. I don't know.
No, the Cowboys are awful.
They traded for Quentin Williams.
Well, they gave too much, but that's a step forward. And
They gave too much?
And Wilson. For him, they did.
So you
Not for
didn't
the linebacker. Linebacker's perfect.
You like that deal, but you didn't like the Quentin Williams first and the second
Well,
rounder?
just too much first and second for an older guy at this point in the season.
Right.
No, Dallas stinks. Okay, I'll say that again.
Say it.
Their defense is so bad. But even though I said that, if they would have won the game against the Cardinals, they still had a chance to make the playoffs. But it's over now. They've lost to Carolina and the Cardinals in games they should have won. If they would have won those two games, and they could have, they should have. And even as bad as they are, they should have won those two games, and they may make the playoffs. But right now, they're done. It's too late for these moves. But
I'm the moron who thinks the Chiefs could still win out.
oh, I don't have a problem with that.
You know.
But here's what you brought up, a great statement, though. You got to think about the positive and the negative. And the Chiefs haven't had to think about the negative for many years, right?
Yeah.
When you're going to win a division, you can never think negatively because the playoffs are a restart, and you don't have to be the number one seed ever.
Right.
Just win your division. But if the Chiefs lose to Denver, for whatever reason, like 5 stupid fumbles that would never happen again, then doubt could come in. If you lose to Denver, not only do you not have the division championship, that doesn't matter. They're still going to be in the playoffs. Okay, we know who's going to be in the playoffs. I look down now, and there's only 8 teams who are competing for 7 spots. The playoffs are done in the AFC. Jacksonville will fail, and the 7 teams, the Chargers will make it. We already know who's going to make the playoffs, so let's get going. Chiefs can go beat any of these teams, but if they lose to Denver on the road, when they're mad and they had a week off, that could create doubt for the first time. And we've never seen Patrick Mahomes snap the ball with a football team that had doubt. We've never seen that.
We'll be right back after this on WHB.
.7 FM, Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
What's up, Kansas City? NBA is in full swing. Your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more games, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. And new customers, they have a great deal just for you. Listen to this. Bet just $5 and get 3 months of the NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins. Paid and bonus bets. All you need to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Got a full slate of games this weekend, starting with tonight as the Rockets travel to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. It's a Wemby versus KD matchup. The Rockets, they're giving up 3.5 points right now, so Spurs getting 3.5. You look at some of the player points. That's a great way to have some fun, is to watch like Wemby, 25.5. Kevin Durant, 25.5. What do you like? Over, under? Know that all odds and scores are option to change. They don't stay the same. They can always be moving. But all you have to do to get that great deal for new customers is go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Bet just $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In bonus bets, so much fun. The best way to watch the NBA is with DraftKings Sportsbook. That's right. It's all in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well, and feel foggy all